Is it possible to be happy without worrying that you might lose this feeling? Do you allow yourself to jump for joy in little moments of happiness? Welcome to the 11th episode of 8 Minutes to Success. This is the podcast 8 Minutes to Success. I'm Kinga Panufnik, and I invite you to spend the next 8 minutes with me. On my way to success, I've learned a lot from others. That is why I'd like to share my personal experience with you. Welcome. When I graduated from high school, I passed the final exam with flying colors. I was so happy because I'd done it very well. I can say I was over the moon. I was jumping for joy and allowed myself to display my happiness openly. There were many difficult tasks still to come, like my university entrance exams, but even though I still allowed myself to display my happiness. At that time, one of my very good friends had also been very successful with his exam results, but he didn't show his emotions. He wasn't enthusiastic about it at all. Once I asked him, "Aren't you happy? You've got such good marks in your exams." I couldn't believe how somebody like him wasn't excited. He said, "I don't know. I can't enjoy this moment because I'm worried about what will happen in the future." I remember this chat because I was very surprised by his approach and how much worries about future can destroy our excitement in the present. Anyway, this gave me a chance to look at myself, how I feel about my excitement. The future was also uncertain for me. I could also experience dissatisfaction and disappointment, but I didn't want to worry in advance. After that moment, many times when something nice has happened, I've asked myself, should I jump for joy, or rather should I stay calm and think about what could happen in the future? Since then, I've observed how people confront their happiness and how they act during cheerful moments. Do they show their emotions, or do they rather stay calm so as not to tempt fate in the future? And I've realized that some people follow their real emotions, whatever they may be. They are excited or they are devastated, and this is real. However, some people either pretend to be happy because it's socially acceptable, or they remain reserved. In Poland, in the country where I live, I've observed that people put a limit on how much they display their happiness. Happiness is our dream, but when it comes to us, it also brings a kind of heaviness, such as the fear of losing it. Or perhaps it's easier not to show happiness, especially when there are people around us who are suffering from some misfortune or just bad luck. Feeling depressed and complaining about life brings us sympathy from others, whereas when we are jumping for joy, we have to face jealousy or sometimes even hate. And also the not tempting fate approach is very common. On the one hand, we are looking forward to good luck and happiness, but on the other, when it comes, we hold back our happiness so as not to tempt fate. When you jump for joy, does anybody tell you, don't tempt fate? Are you pushed? Are you forced to be worried that showing your happiness may cause the good luck you've had so far to end? Isn't this a manipulation of your fear? Whatever you do now, you don't know what will happen later, in the near or more the distant future. Is it worth worrying about the future now and losing the feeling of excitement? There's always something ahead of you. You are always moving towards something else which is unpredictable. Are you ready to say, I'm happy? Aren't you afraid of anything? that somebody will judge you, or maybe it's better not to show it because it's socially unacceptable to your neighbors, to your family, to your colleagues. Today I'm happy, but this doesn't mean that tomorrow I won't cry from sadness. This is what I'm like, and as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't hurt anybody when I want to show my feelings. I want to taste every moment of my life. What is happiness for me? It is a moment when my soul is dancing and I want to smile all the time, when I feel light and motivated. It doesn't matter how long this lasts. It could be an hour or 10 years. Happiness doesn't know time. It's a state of our soul. And a challenge for you for next week. When you hear some good news, something that makes you smile, cheerful, say aloud to yourself, I'm happy. I am happy. Stay in silence and listen. And try to feel if there's something which appears inside you, which tells you that this is not worth being happy about. Or maybe you find a fear which comes with the feeling that it's better not to express this so as not to tempt fate. Let those thoughts flow and let them all go. And look consciously at what appears. If you are conscious of this, these negative anxieties will eventually diminish. Open your heart to happiness without fear or guilt. Go on your way to happiness by integrating yourself with your fears rather than accumulating consumer goods. These things will only end up causing more fear. That's all for today. See you next time. Bye-bye.
This was 8 minutes to success. If I'd left you wanting more, that's great. It's much healthier to stay a little hungry rather than eat too much and feel sick. I hope you will listen to my next episode. To avoid missing any, I recommend that you sign up for the newsletter on my website www.8minutestosuccess.com, and the next episode will be sent to your email straight from the production line. Don't be afraid. I won't be bringing this out every day. Don't forget to subscribe. Would also be nice to get some comments from you, and if you feel it's worthy, you can share it with your friends. Take care. Bye-bye.